Hi, Tilty Carlson here. Today we're taking a look at Kino Lorber's reissue on Blu-ray of The Big Country, which came out a few years ago. The Big Country is a Western from the late 50s. It was directed by William Wyler and starring the likes of Gregory Peck, Gene Simmons, Charles Bickford, Burl Ives, Chuck Connors, and Charlton Heston. In The Big Country, Gregory Peck stars as a sea captain who's moved out to the Old West to be with the woman that he loves, but as he quickly discovers, the Old West is a very different place from being a captain out on the high seas. His bride-to-be's father is involved with a lengthy land war with another family, and of course the two find themselves at war quite frequently, much to the chagrin of everyone around them. Peck's character also befriends a school teacher who owns the Big Muddy, which is a watering hole that both families are using and are trying to get their hands on so that they can force the other out of business and win this personal war that's been going on for far too long. Of course, this ends up being a very different life than Peck's character expected, with everyone trying to expect him to prove himself and do things left and right, but he quickly shows a very different attitude when it comes to this sort of thing. Will they manage to resolve their conflicts peacefully, or will this be an all-out war with plenty of bloodshed in the Old West? I love The Big Country because it's a lot different than most Westerns. Most Westerns, you have the cowboy that rides into town and just starts shooting up all the bad guys. And the thing I love about this movie is that Gregory Peck's character is absolutely not this character at all. This is a character who actually tries to use his brain to solve his problems instead of violence, and it's so radically different from most of the Westerns you see that it's honestly quite a refreshing change. And the supporting cast here is no less excellent. I mean, you have Charles Bickford as the bitter old father of the bride who is hell-bent on keeping his personal war going, and the other family's head is played by Burl Ives in one of his absolute best roles. And it quickly becomes clear that this is more of a gray area conflict. There is no black or white, clear-cut hero or villain side of all this. Gene Simmons stars as the school teacher who owns the Big Muddy that Peck finds himself fascinated with, and then you even have Charlton Heston playing a rare supporting role as one of the men most loyal to the Major, played by Charles Bickford, and who, of course, becomes something of a rival to Gregory Peck's character. It's a beautifully cast film, and it's also beautifully shot. I mean, very few movies show off the beauty and splendor of the Old West like this one. It's a fantastic-looking movie all around, and the musical score by Jerome Moross certainly adds to the atmosphere. It's a great-looking film, and even if it is a little on the long side, clocking it at just under 3 hours, it's never boring, and that's certainly a good thing. This is one of my favorite Westerns, and I was very happy to see Kino chose to reissue this one. The Big Country had one prior Blu-ray release, but that got mixed reviews due to some issues with the aspect ratio and some potential stretching. But I'm happy to say that Kino Lorber's Blu-ray looks absolutely gorgeous. This is one of the best-looking Blu-ray discs of a classic title I've ever seen. All the cinematography and the visions of the Old West look absolutely splendid here. Even if it's a distant shot, I mean, it's crystal clear, the colors are bright and vibrant, and at no point do I detect anything along the lines of noise reduction or unwanted digital tinkering or sharpening. This is a beautiful looking disc. Probably my only complaint is it's a Blu-ray disc and not a 4K disc. If they created a 4K sourced from this same master, I have no doubt it could be one of the best looking 4Ks of a classic title ever released on the format. We actually get several interviews on here, both vintage and newly filmed for this release from Kino. So there's a lot to watch here if you're a fan of the film. Also some photo galleries and a vintage theatrical trailer as well. There's even an hour-long documentary on director William Wyler, which is very interesting that I think fans will want to sit down and take the time to watch. This release of The Big Country comes very highly recommended. If you're a fan of the movie, you will not be disappointed. How about you? What did you think of The Big Country? Do you think it's Gregory Peck's greatest performance? Do you think it's the greatest film to ever come from William Wyler? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give us a like if you found it helpful. I'm Tilty Carlson. I'll see you next time.